Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishna. Om salutations to Bhagavan Ramakrishna. Girish Ghosh. We take this final section of great householder devotee's life. We've seen how he went through these various struggles, came to his guru. And finally, we see how he interacted with the Holy Mother. When Sri Ramakrishna was alive in Dakshineshwar, Girish Ghosh was his greatest devotee and his loudest mouthpiece, though Sri Ramakrishna didn't want it. But then he saw demonstrably Sri Ramakrishna's grace in his own life, and he wanted others also to partake of this great opportunity. And you can see how he brought men and women and friends and relatives all to Sri Ramakrishna. See, he had great kind of animal energy. And that was what marked him out. Tremendous energy. And that expressed in his intellectual faculties, in his hyper-emotionalism, which, of course, creative people sometimes are. His creative side was tremendous. He was, let's say, multifaceted. So during his lifetime, Sri Ramakrishna's lifetime, he kept on preaching that Sri Ramakrishna is an avatar. And Sri Ramakrishna used to jocosely, say, one guy, he runs a theater, that is Girish. Another, he runs a pharmacy. He said he's a doctor. Now, what do they know about an avatar, etc.? Before these guys, great pundits have come and declared me, and they knew what is an avatar. But you see, the difference between those great pundits and these, Girish Ghosh and Chandra, was they were marked by tremendous faith. So, that was, they never had that skills and that learning of the scriptures and, arguments and all, scriptural arguments, but they had faith. And that is what made them so kind of eager to bring Sri Ramakrishna to everybody. So when his wife had died, he was grieving. Sri Ramakrishna had passed away. His wife also had passed away. And what he's saying, as we have seen, he was going through various, you can say, the highs and the lows of life. And in his case, the highs were very high and the lows were very low. So, and he was telling one of the disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Niranjanananda, you see, it seems like I'm shelterless, without any refuge. Even Sri Ramakrishna is not physically here. I could have gone to him. And Niranjanananda, Niranjan for short, he said, why? You're the Holy Mother. What? Yeah, she is as equal as Sri Ramakrishna. And that brought a kind of a glimmer in his mind. Niranjan Maharaj is saying, you think Sri Ramakrishna, you declare him to be an avatar, and you think Sri Ramakrishna will marry an ordinary mortal first, or an ordinary jiva? We are all ordinary individual souls. especially in, even we have ordinary individual souls even have categories. One is the human category. We are like nice human beings. There are the godly types, and there are some souls that are very godly, angelic. And there are those guys who are kind of crude, gross, and fighting and shouting and killing. And so you have, amongst the humans also, we have the three varieties. That is amongst the individual souls. You think God is going to interact with people like jivas like us? We will not even know anything about divinity. Forget even the godlike, there are more chances for the godly people to kind of get a glimpse. But to really appreciate, it's not possible. However, that's reserved for another day, a long discussion. And he is going to marry an ordinary jiva, a soul, an individual soul. So he says, and he says that if Sri Ramakrishna was here, he will marry only a divine incarnation. An incarnation will marry an incarnation. And he says, she is, that is, Holy Mother. She is like Sita, or she is like Parvati to Shiva, Sita to Rama, or Radha to Krishna. And then, he starts thinking. Sri Ramakrishna says, Niranjan Maharaj says, the Brahman and Shakti are one. She is his Shakti. I'm speaking these words and you're listening to me. But these very words, they created a revolution in his mind regarding understanding the Holy Mother. Niranjan Maharaj says, Mother is Shakti, and Sri Ramakrishna is that Purna Brahma, that absolute Brahman. And that was a kind of, as I said, revolution. So he had said, can you imagine Narayana without Lakshmi? No, it's not possible. And this became his now support. Okay. Now after his wife had passed away, she had left behind him a son. Now this son, as we have seen in the last section, he was extremely devoted to Sri Ramakrishna in the sense of he used to sit down quietly in front of the picture of Sri Ramakrishna, etc. So one time, Girish Ghosh had taken his son, 3 years old, to see the Holy Mother. Now, Holy Mother during that time, especially after Sri Ramakrishna passed away, that was 4 years after Sri Ramakrishna had passed away, in 1890 this is. She was hidden from public gaze. So now that he knew who the Divine Mother is, Holy Mother is, he had taken the boy so that she will bless the boy. Now it so happened that he waited down, mother was upstairs, and the boy was led upstairs, she carried by a mother's attendant. And the little boy, 3 years old, started rolling on the ground, and with devotion, of course. What they do in Swami Vivekananda, when he returned from the US and he went to the great temple at Calcutta, that Kali Ghat, he also rolled in front of the deity. Okay. So that's what. So the boy rolled, and then he came down, he caught Girish's hand, and insisting that Girish, his father, also come and pay obeisance to Holy Mother. And Girish burst out crying, saying, how can I go to the mother? I am a great sinner. The boy wouldn't leave him. He finally took the boy in his arms and he goes up, and then he says, and as he was climbing the stairs, and he's saying his body was trembling, with that great emotion. You see, that knowledge is now there, present now. This is who she is. And he fell flat on the ground in front of her, prostrated. So he says, it is through him that I have been able to see your sacred feet. After a few months, the boy passed away. And that was another kind of big blow to Girish Ghosh. So he then, Niranjan Maharaj had convinced him about Holy Mother's identity, and he now wanted to go to Holy Mother now when she was in her village home at Jayrambati. So he said, I'll accompany you, Niranjan Maharaj says. And there were other devotees also were going along. Balram Bose, another great devotee, he wasn't too eager, saying, you're going to take all your troubles to Holy Mother, and she wants to relax there in a village home. But Swamiji approved. Swamiji was itinerant during those days. Message was sent, he said he approved. So they all go to Holy Mother at Jayrambati. And, he goes there. There are a lot of description. On the way, they go first by train and then bullock cart and walking. They first go to Kamarpukur, and he found a place wonderfully spiritual. Then from there they go to Jayrambati, which is about 4 miles. And they reach. So Girish Ghosh with, you can say, before you could go and pay obeisance to Mother, see her, they had a bath in that pond. And, the idea is you have a bath with your clothes on in India, and then you go with wet clothes and prostrate yourself in front of the deity. So he did that. He had a bath, he had a dip, and with wet clothes, he took a mango in his hands as offering, and he prostrated in front of the Mother. And as he prostrated, he was now, shaking with that devotion. And he looks up at her, and he sees the face. Swami Nikhilananda, who wrote Holy Mother's biography and who was Holy Mother's disciple also, she says, you are that Mother. Girish suddenly, you are that Mother. He suddenly recalled a vivid dream he had when he was young and stricken with cholera. The doctor had given up hope, saying that it's over for him. And in his kind of, the delirious state, the high fever, he had seen a vision of a goddess with a red bordered, you can say, sari, and offering him prasad, sacramental food. And he took that and he was cured, which surprised everybody. And for years and years, he's been trying to, who is that goddess who came and saved my life? When he reached Jayrambati, when he saw Mother's face, not a full thing, just a little, because she was veiled, saying, you are that goddess. And he says, then he asked, he recognized her and said, what kind of a mother are you? And Holy Mother, immediately Holy Mother, your real mother, not just a wife of your guru, not just a foster mother, not a vague sort of mother, your real mother. That is, she's claiming that she is the mother, not of Girish only. Yeah. Girish had his earthly mother and all these things, but your real mother, that is the mother of the universe. That is, and so Girish was stunned. And this is what he says, that you know our minds which we ourselves do not know. We cannot go to you. But it is through thy grace thou hast drawn us to you. And he used to say that, Mother, when I come here in front of you, I feel just like a child. Now all his manliness and all this kind of bravery and all these things were, the Girish that we know of, all that used to disappear. He used to feel like a young child. And he could not utter a word. And then he was telling people, those who were around him, it is difficult for us to understand how God can incarnate in a human flesh. Then he says, can you realize that you are standing before the mother of the universe in the form of this village woman? Can you imagine the Divine Mother doing all kinds of domestic things and social duties like any ordinary woman? Yes, she is the mother of the universe, Mahamaya, Mahashakti, appearing on earth for the salvation of all creatures, and at the same time exemplifying the true ideal of motherhood. So this is how he now arrived at his conclusion. Because see, he was not an ordinary, you can say, person. He had those great insights, the great intuition. Though he was a wayward person in the sense of did everything, but yet his deep spirituality had given him this kind of insight into Sri Ramakrishna. Now it had given him insight into Holy Mother. Like he was loudly proclaiming Sri Ramakrishna as an avatar. Now he began to proclaim Holy Mother as an avatar. Till that time, people were hardly aware of Sri Ramakrishna also, and he was highlighted by these great religious teachers during that time, Chandra and all these things. So he had some limelight, but generally people were not aware of that. Only the spiritual aspirants. You see, when a mass of spirituality exists in a place, it draws you, especially Sri Ramakrishna, it draws people who are seekers of truth. Yes. So somehow, seekers of truth, devotees, all those who have been asking about what is God, those who have been praying, etc. Oh God, have you, they've been praying and they're wondering whether God exists or no. Yeah, we also sometimes say, we've been praying and we wonder, are my prayers useless? Or there is no God or something? But like Sri Ramakrishna says, God listens to sincere prayers. And the incarnation is an answer to all the prayers that you have. And all the answers to all your questions about reality and truth and what is love and what is existence. Yes. So he draws such souls towards him. And so, yet at the same time, they come, they're sincere people and they get benefited and they go. Yet, like I was saying, it's very difficult for ordinary people to comprehend an avatar. For instance, Holy Mother had 3 brothers, quarrelsome. She was the eldest, very quarrelsome, bickering all the time about money and about property. And they had children, and some of them were kind of half crazy, like Radu and Maku and all. The mother was calm in their presence. So one time Girish tells one of Holy Mother's brother, Kali Kumar, hey, do you know your sister? Say, yeah, she's my sister. You guys have made her the mother of the universe, etc., etc. For us, she's a sister. And then he says, you rascal, rascal, you are just an ordinary Brahmin, born and reared in a village. You have forgotten your duties of life, that is scriptural studies, worship, etc. And you have given up your in traditional duties, and you're a farmer. Saying if anybody promises you a bullock, you'll chase that person for the next 6 months. You don't. How can you even imagine that you'll believe that your sister is a goddess, divine God? So the Kali Kumar was now convinced. Girish Ghosh, had the powers of, you can say, convincing others. So he goes and he had told Kali Kumar, go and ask for liberation. So the Kali Kumar goes, and before he can say anything, why, I'm your sister. Oh yeah, you're my sister. And then he returns. Girish again convinces him, you foolish fellow, go and you go back. She's trying to fool you. Again he goes, no, I'm your sister. And then saying, it is not possible, then he understood, it is not possible to understand Holy Mother, who is Mahamaya herself. She will put your mind into a forgetfulness, into a kind of a delusion. You will not know. And then Girish Ghosh, he understood that her brothers must have undergone bone-breaking austerities to have the Divine Mother as a sister. So you are Kali Kumar and all this. They're saying, we are born from the same womb and she's my sister. And say, yeah. But they must have had a tremendous merit, because Holy Mother almost brought them up, to have the Divine Mother like that as a sister and not knowing it, that is mind-blowing. And when he visited Jayrambati, he was, as I say, she had infinite affection and infinite patience. And he could see that, this never was not ordinary, you can say, affection and you can say solicitude. This bordered on the divine. And he could understand, saying Mother had eyes on every minute detail. Nothing escaped her. Saying, when I think about this, I feel my tears trickle down my eyes. Now, he had gone also for another reason to Jayrambati, to Mother's place. Because the other monastic disciples of Sri Ramakrishna had said, why are you here living now in the world? You've lost everything. Come and join the monastery. And so he, okay. And he just left with that monastic, you can say, member, barefoot with just the clothes on, not looking back. He reached the monastery at Baranagar and they said, okay, you're good, you stay out here. But the other monastic man said, no, he needs to go back. Now he's in a fix. You remember Sri Ramakrishna had given him an ochre cloth of a monk when he was ill in Kashipur. So he had taken that ochre cloth and wrapped it round his head and prostrated in front of Sri Ramakrishna, and Sri Ramakrishna said, okay. And when he wanted to renounce the world, Sri Ramakrishna said, no, you continue doing what you are doing. And that had stopped him from any further argumentation. So he had now gone to Jayrambati, met the Holy Mother, and she says, he asked for a permission to embrace monastic life, but the mother did not give a consent. And instead, she said to continue his literary and his acting careers. It was then Girish gave up the idea of becoming a monk. That was the... So this was one time, mother was returning from Jayrambati to Calcutta. And she used to shuttle back and forth. So the train was late, and Swami Brahmananda, Raja Maharaj, and Swami Premananda, one of her favorite, you can say, her disciples also, had gone to receive her at the station. The train was late and they were waiting. It was hot and the train arrived, and mother was slowly made to alight from this by Golapma. She was mother's attendant. And she was, she had a stentorian voice and imposing. We've seen how her life and what a wonderful life she had. So even Swami Brahmananda and Swami Premananda they stepped back and they cringed at her loud voice and her scoldings. And they felt remorseful. They wanted to make pranams to Holy Mother, and then they were rebuffed. So they slunk quietly behind. And then Holy Mother was taken to Udbodhan house. And both the disciples, they followed her to see that all arrangements have been made for a stay. And when they reached there, they meet Girish Ghosh. Girish Ghosh said, what happened? Has mother arrived? And mother had just arrived. Yeah. And he said, come on, let's go up. He was like that. So Golappa from upstairs, she heard Girish Ghosh saying, she says, you have come to see mother, and mother is tired and exhausted. And she said, my words beat a retreat for your devotion, Girish. She wanted to push Girish around. And Girish lambasted her with the choicest of abusive words. And she burst into tears and he flees from that place. Girish and Swami Brahmananda and Swami Premananda, they go and make pranams, and mother is happy to see them. Mother knows everything what's happened. And then Golapma, after they leave, Golapma, he complains, mother, I told you not to interfere. I warned you many times about criticizing them, my children. And they are Calcutta boys, they know all the best stuff. You can say the bad words. He also, in that next year, he wanted to perform a Durga Puja. Mother was in Jayrambati, and now Durga Puja is a huge affair, but he wanted mother to be present. Mother had suffering from malaria intermittently in a village home. So Swami Shardananda Sharat Maharaj wrote to her expressing Girish's desire. So she agrees to come, and she comes, and with all that trouble, and she attends the puja. She used to stay at Balram Bose's house, which is just across the street. So she used to sit down for hours and hours, and that whole place had become surcharged with spirituality. She used to sit down quietly, but then, and Girish's friends and actors and actresses and all types of people had come, and they were making pranams to her, and she was quietly. So the most auspicious time in the 10-day puja is you can say the junction between the 8th and the 9th day. It's called the Sandhi Puja. and that time it happened to be at midnight. Mother was slightly feverish. She said, I won't be going there. And Girish Ghosh was devastated. The pujas were going on. He came and quieted and locked himself in his room. Just before the Sandhi Puja, the junction puja could commence, Mother decides to attend it. And she comes. And she knocks on the back door of Girish's house. The maid servant opens and you see Mother. And she's led to the place where the puja is going on. And everybody became thrilled. And she said, I have come. I have arrived at your place to attend this puja. And everybody was thrilled. And then Girish Ghosh understood that she has come and she has accepted the worship. She is that Durga. Like she is that goddess. And many people have seen her as such, as the goddess Durga. Okay. So that was, and now, Holy Mother, she had told him, you continue your literary and your theatre activity. And Mother used to go to see some of his plays. And he used to give her a kind of a royal box, and there was one play called Daksha Yagnya. That is, that Daksha was the father of Sati. And it's a long story. And he never invited Shiva for a big, you can say, sacrifice. So Shiva comes and he breaks everything up. So it's a remarkable, you can say, mythological story. But when she saw that play, she goes into samadhi. And she remembers her identity as Sati in the previous incarnation, as that incarnation, as a goddess. And Girish Ghosh was playing the Daksha, that is her father, who was peeved by his son-in-law, Girish, and Shiva, of course. And when she goes to see Chaitanya Leela, there also she gets into samadhi and she says, my God, look at these actresses. They have the tremendous devotion, otherwise they would not have been able to play these roles. And in those days, it was the prostitutes who used to become actors in those days, because no respectable woman would get into the stage and acting, etc. So, and these actors used to come and salute the Holy Mother, and Mother used to embrace them. This was a kind of an acceptance that was really startling. They don't see your externals. God does not see what you do outside, but what you are inside. So Holy Mother saw what they are inside and accepted them. So that was a great social kind of change, and people saw, oh my God. In one place, some of the respectable women saying, oh, these actors are coming, actors and actresses are coming in. So we will not be able to come here because we don't want to mix around with such people. So Mother was very stern. If you don't want to come, don't come. I will let them come. And it was very rare that Holy Mother spoke with sternness, And these respectable ladies, now they understood, well, you have to share space with these people also. Because Mother was looking at them equally. All of them. To her, they were her children. And she herself says that, if the child soils itself, it is my work as a mother to cleanse it and take it back in my lap. That's meant for all of us. That's a great hope. So she used to, over the years, she used to always be invited by Girish, and she used to see his acting. Sometimes she used to enjoy his acting. Sometimes She used to get into samadhi, and sometimes when the actresses used to come to salute her, they found her absorbed in samadhi. And Golapma had to bring her back to this normal plane and say, oh, she's come to make pranams to you. So this was Girish Ghosh, okay, his interaction with mother. I mean, I've taken a few selected incidents, but Holy Mother says about him, he was a man of great faith, so he received the Master's unbounded grace. The Master gave him liberation. So it was just that faith in Sri Ramakrishna that gave him this liberation. And you can see the very fact that we are discussing his life after all these years, over 100 years, is still there. And he'll be there as always, a kind of a bright star in the firmament of Ramakrishna. Whenever Sri Ramakrishna will be spoken of, Holy Mother will be spoken of, you will have Girish Ghosh also. So that's a great hope for all of us. He was an householder. He wasn't an ideal householder. Yeah, for sure. But he became an ideal devotee. A devotee who based his entire, you can say, spiritual approach just on faith. So this is what we also need to take away from this life of his. Okay. So the next householder disciple we take is Nag Mahashai. He's now again he is another type, extraordinary. Extraordinary. Nothing like Girish Ghosh. And that's what that's the beauty of Ramakrishna. He could take all types of people and make them into saints. Oh yeah. So Nag Mahashai. We also have tomorrow the retreat at Arlington. We will be discussing, we will be guiding people through Vedantic meditation. 1 to 5 at Tapovan. And Sunday, we have approaching illumination. So we take a few, there are no questions here. Is there any question?
When you read the stories of the people who have lived with Ramakrishna, sometimes does it come to your mind also, I wish I could have been at the same time?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I would have. But it takes good. At the same time, my reason kicks in, saying, see, when you're up close, you cannot see things very distinctly. A little distance will give you a kind of a better perspective on things. If I was there during Ramakrishna's time, I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't have even met him, or maybe I wouldn't have. Even if I was there, I would not be able to comprehend. But now I can really appreciate. I remember there was a monk who used to say, he was very nice and roly-poly monk, and I remember saying, no, you see, I may have been during Ramakrishna's time, I may have been a worm that was squashed by Ramakrishna's feet. And I was born here as a monk. So even a touch. But it's true, who wouldn't like? But what makes you think that I'm not with Sri Ramakrishna now? Hey, Sri Ramakrishna is there and I'm also there now. In fact, after an avatar gives up this physical body, the real work begins then. Not so much as when he is confined to a physical body. So his real work begins after this. So you can see how Sri Ramakrishna is working in this world, in the spiritual world, not in any other world, in the spiritual world, drawing people, drawing souls to him and transforming them. So I am with, if you think, oh, Sri Ramakrishna was there and he passed away, what? Is the story over? The divine play continues. There is no end. Oh, Sri Ramakrishna was born and Sri Ramakrishna died and then that was the end. It's not possible. Because in the spiritual literature, the divine play goes on. As they say, the show must go on. The show must go on. Something like that. So there's a question here. How to please Divine Mother? Quick. I am 60 years old, running out of time. Oh. How to please her? The only thing that pleases the Divine Mother is your devotion, your love. Make her the center of your life and activities. When you're leaving home, suppose you have to go to work, kind of tell Holy Mother, yeah, I'm going out, just take care of me. You return, during the time when you're out, remember her. When you return, you eat for her, sleep for her, live for her. You have to compress all the devotion and pack them up. So, take the Divine Mother's name. So, that is lover. How do I love her? But the love is natural to each and every person. But I have not seen her. Keep on reading about her, and then slowly the light will shine in your mind. She dwells within all of us. She will enlighten you. That is what it is. So don't worry about being 60 years old and this and that, and time is running out. You can start now, and you will be the better for it. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.